What are some of the biggest business flops by some of the biggest celebrities? Let's start with number 7, Lindsay Lohan's Mykonos Club. Despite viral footage and a reality TV show, Lindsay Lohan's Mykonos Beach Club closed its doors after roughly a year. Lindsay Lohan opened Lohan Beach House in May 2018 and gained public attention immediately when a video of Lohan dancing in a shimmering jumpsuit and an Instagram post where the celebrity chastised employees for wearing the wrong footwear went viral. MTV announced it was filming a reality TV show there in July 2018, which followed the staff's daily lives under Lohan's leadership. Although the club might have looked glamorous on TV, it was a very different place in person. Vanity Fair featured a story with several people who added a stop at Lohan Beach House to their vacation itineraries. A group of tourists booked a reservation on its website. Although they didn't receive a confirmation, they still went but discovered that the seemingly packed club was empty. Lohan Beach House supposedly closed its doors for the winter in October, despite other clubs remaining open until the end of the party season. The club appeared in person to be just a palm structure with stacks of chairs piled up inside. Curious, several vacationers toured the location. They discovered that the DJ booth was crumbling, the floorboards had dark stains, and all of the signage featured in Instagram posts was gone. A tourist claimed in a Vanity Fair article that it appeared the setup was temporary and for promotional use only. While bars and clubs often close for the winter season in Mykonos, they drain their pools, board up windows, and take other measures to keep the property in good condition while closed. At Lohan Beach House, everything was left to the elements with no intentions to reuse. Locals claimed the location only existed for the reality TV show. While Lohan calling out people who work for her on social media might have implied that the show would be full of drama, it fell flat for viewers, with Lohan no longer wanting to air her business on TV. MTV didn't pick up Lindsay Lohan Beach Club for a second season, despite discussions of focusing the second season around Lohan, her mother, and her sister. The club was closed by June 2019. Number 6. Pharrell's Qream. Pharrell Williams' aspirations to create an alcohol brand, Qream, geared towards women ended with legal proceedings against his former partner. The singer wanted to bring a women-focused alcohol brand to the market after calling out brands using females in their ads to sell products that weren't geared specifically for them. He launched an extensive marketing campaign for Qream made of strawberry cream and peach cream liquors. Williams threw a massive party in New York City to celebrate the launch with an impressive list of attendees. Although the brand seemed like it could be the next big thing, it didn't perform well. Diageo, the alcoholic beverage company that partnered with Williams, discontinued Qream in July 2012. In response, Pharrell sued Diageo for $5 million, claiming the poor sales resulted from Diageo's decision to market Qream to club goers, ruining its reputation for being a high-end and luxurious product. Williams blamed defective bottle caps because consumers and servers were less likely to purchase Qream. Additionally, he alleged that Diageo's North American senior VIP of joint ventures and strategic relationships was always against the product. Number 5. Kanye's Pastelle brand. Before Kanye West launched Yeezy, his first endeavor in the fashion world was for Pastelle. Pastelle consisted of 30 designers and consultants that he handpicked to help him make his mark on the industry. Over 3 years, West and his team searched worldwide for collaborators from every fashion category. West recruited key players in the industry like Kim Jones, Louis Vuitton's men's artistic director, as a consultant, and lesser-known designers working towards establishing themselves in the cutthroat fashion industry. A few of West's recruits met with him in person. Some communicated via email or phone, and others never interacted with the entrepreneur. However, all of the creatives went through a similar recruitment process. West or one of his people would contact the designer or industry professional to discuss the project. The team would work together to share their ambitious designs and plans, after which they created designs and samples. Then, communication stopped. Pastelle should have launched West's career into the fashion world, but there was a reason it never launched. Throughout his career, West was an avid fashion lover and believed he was the best-dressed rapper in the industry. As his music grew in popularity, he continually mentioned in interviews that he would soon launch his own designer brand. Fans' excitement grew about the launch when he attended a Paris Dior fashion show in 2008, wearing a grey zip-up hoodie with rainbow-like stripes on the hood and grey circles around the elbows and shoulders. He wore a blue varsity jacket with Pastelle written across the back to the 2008 American Music Awards. Public demand grew when he posted on his blog that his designs would be much better quality than typical celebrity ones. With his all-star team of collaborators, who he believed were the best in the world, all that was left was to unveil his products. Collaborating with a world-famous rapper could have been life-changing for designers like Vanguard, who he praised for their Fall/Winter 2008 collection. They were eager to get started when he approached them about collaborating with Pastelle. He sent them PDFs of his proposed designs and asked for Vanguard's feedback. For the next 3 months, the fashion designers created around 20 streetwear-inspired jackets, sweatpants, hoodies, and sweatshirts, which had the pastel-colored rainbow that was becoming a prominent feature in the Pastelle collection. Vanguard also helped with the Pastelle logo and submitted 31 different graphics. West added the graphics to his stack of other commissioned pieces. He aimed to create a line with the best pieces and people with items he knew he could personalize. West was hands-on, working long hours and focusing on small details. Many in the industry thought his approach was innovative and exciting. Not only was he collaborating with a diverse range of creatives, but he also created a masculine collection with a feminine palette. His work was supposed to shake up the entire fashion world. But when the time came to debut Pastelle's collection, West entered the public eye for a different reason. In 2009, West infamously interrupted Taylor Swift's MTV VMA award speech. After the incident, he took a hiatus from the spotlight and cancelled an upcoming tour with Lady Gaga. Around that time, he linked up with Nike to create the Nike Air Yeezy, propelling his fashion career quicker than Pastelle ever could. Pastelle's LA office closed and plans to open stores and host New York Fashion Week events halted. The brand had mountains of samples, but West cut off communication with collaborators, some of whom would never hear from him again. In 2022, West's oldest daughter, Northwest, wore the Pastelle varsity jacket that her father debuted at the American Music Awards 15 years before. Number 4. Britney Spears' Nyla. During the height of her career as the Princess of Pop and her relationship with Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears opened her Manhattan-based restaurant, Nyla. Spears followed in the footsteps of many other celebrities who opened their own restaurants. In 2002, the singer drew on her New York City and Louisiana influences to open Nyla. While opening a restaurant appeals to many famous people as it gives them a place to hang out and go anytime with their friends, running a restaurant is challenging even for the most experienced people in the industry. Spears, who was 20 years old at the time, conceived the idea for the restaurant in a dentist's chair and came up with the name Nyla by combining the abbreviations for New York and Louisiana. She partnered with Pastelle, who worked with other celebrities like Robert De Niro. Pastelle believed that pairing celebrities with a restaurant required as much casting as a movie would. If stars didn't work with the right people, their restaurants were doomed. While Pastelle's other clients were very hands-on, Spears preferred to let others take control. However, while she planned an opening filled with actors, musicians, and politicians who would stroll down a red carpet under spotlights and before flashing cameras, Nyla was already in $350,000 of debt. The first night was not the success everyone anticipated, and the restaurant never recovered. Second chef Brad Gates struggled to buy food due to cash flow issues and no diners eating at the restaurant. Additionally, Spears dealt with several health code violations. Nyla chose to change from Cajun cuisine to Italian, around which time Spears removed herself from the project. The pop star publicly separated from Nyla and the company operating it due to management's failure to communicate issues about the restaurant and its operations to her. Number 3. Jay-Z's hotel fail. Rapper Jay-Z's dream of becoming a hotel mogul ended when the New York City real estate market crumbled, causing him to lose tens of millions of dollars. Jay-Z planned on creating the J Hotel in New York City, an endeavor that would cost $66 million. When 2008 hit, the mogul was struggling to keep the project afloat. Jay-Z axed the endeavor when his business partner Charles Bleichman couldn't get a loan to finish the hotel. J Hotel was one of many real estate endeavors that fell apart at the time, with $5 billion worth of projects breaking down or going on hold. 2 years later, Jay-Z faced foreclosure mainly to the holder of his $52 million note, Highland Capital Management. The rapper wanted to avoid foreclosure and worked with Highland to create a deed instead of foreclosure, where he would give back the property for no more financial liability. Negotiating the deed was a drawn-out process, and Jay-Z was upset that he had to pay the carrying costs, while Highland was in no rush to change the title. Although Jay-Z and his investors were not responsible for the principal, they were liable for carrying costs and other fees for the loan. A $52 million loan carries a lot of interest, prompting Jay-Z to sue the lender over losing $3.7 million as a result of Highland's slow response. Highland dismissed the allegations as meritless. Number 2. Flavor Flav's fried chicken. Rapper and VH1 star Flavor Flav dreamed of opening a fast food restaurant chain without knowing anything about the industry. In January 2011, the rapper opened the first Flav's Fried Chicken in Clinton, Iowa, intending to add other locations. He partnered with Nick Cimino, owner of Mama Cimino's Italian restaurant, and they split the business 40% to Cimino and 60% to Flav. Despite the TV personality's public persona and strong fan base, customers and employees were less than satisfied with the quality of the food and working environment. Many described the food as nasty, and employees were unimpressed with the cooking methods in the kitchen. When they stopped getting paid, food preparation and dissatisfied customers were the least of the employees' concerns. Cimino blamed an issue with a credit card machine for the situation, which made paychecks bounce, and claimed everyone received their money. However, at least 2 employees couldn't cash checks from 3 weeks' worth of pay. They visited several banks, including the restaurant's bank, Freedom Bank. Although several workers claimed they couldn't pay rent or bills, Flav and Cimino said they paid their employees in full. The entrepreneurs stated that the issue stemmed from firing more than a dozen employees who were disgruntled and trying to make the fried chicken restaurant look bad. It took 3 months for the restaurant to close, and Flav blamed Cimino. He alleged that the restaurant closed because Cimino wasn't running the business properly. Flav believed Cimino mismanaged the business and made the rapper look bad. But when he accused Cimino of serving customers expired food, 2 former employees spoke up on his behalf. They stated that Flav was using Cimino as a scapegoat and abusing his celebrity to ruin his former business partner's reputation. Although Cimino claimed that Flav didn't have the cash for the operation and lacked the necessary knowledge to run a restaurant, Flav decided to open a Vegas location without his former business partner. The Las Vegas location opened and closed within a year, but rather than give up on his dream of owning a fast food franchise, Flav opened another location in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Flav appeared to forget an essential part of funding his business, covering the property's rent. His landlord began eviction proceedings as he owed $20,000 in unpaid rent. Flav's attorneys filed a motion to stay, but clearly the rapper was clueless about the fast food restaurant business. Number 1. The Kardashian Kard. In 2010, the Kardashians launched their controversial prepaid debit card branded the Kardashian Kard. The MasterCard seemingly offered fans of Keeping Up with the Kardashians the chance to get a taste of the family's luxurious and extravagant lifestyle. Prepaid debit cards are typically targeted at people who don't have a checking account or they don't have a credit card, typically due to insufficient history or poor credit. The convenience of these cards is pricey, including activation fees, monthly fees, and other hidden fees. The Kardashian Kard, which had a picture of the famous sisters, charged much higher than average fees. It required a 12-month $99.95 fee to own, on top of a $9.95 purchase fee and 12 monthly payments of $7.95. Users also had to pay $1 every time they added money to the card and $1.50 to speak with an operator. If they wanted to use their cards for autopay, consumers needed to pay an additional $2 per transaction. The Kardashian Kard targeted young fans of the show and people in poor financial situations, and its launch was met with public outrage. Connecticut Attorney General Richard Blumenthal quickly wrote a letter to the card's issuer, University National Bank, where he questioned the legality of the card's predatory practices. Due to its horrible reception, the Kardashian sisters terminated their relationship with University National Bank. The family's lawyers stated that they had worked too hard to build their reputation, and the negative attention could be detrimental to their brand. And don't things circle around? In September of 2022, Kim was spotted wearing Balenciaga credit card earrings. Do you think she thought about her old Kardashian card while putting it on? Click to watch one of these next videos. Let us know in the comment section what you would rather do: invest money with a celebrity or gamble money in a casino.